He offered me how much? You've got to be kidding me. Hey guys, Ken here. Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I want to talk about lowball offers. You know, if you're going to do something like put a make offer tab on your listings on eBay, you're going to run into lowball offers. It's just inevitable. It happens. And, you know, it all depends on how you deal with it. And I wanted to share some experiences I've had and how I dealt with it and just my thoughts on it in general. Now, when I first started selling postcards back in January of 2020, I was thinking at the time, I don't want to deal with the make offer tab. I just want to set my prices at a buy it now price so I can get full price. So every time that phone went cha-ching, I know I made a sale, and it wasn't just an offer that I was going to have to negotiate and nickel and dime with and deal with these lowball offers. Well, I did that for a while and it was successful. But, you know, with all the eBay changes recently made, I decided to take a second look at that. So what I did was I went in and did a bulk edit, and I put make offer tabs on all of my listings. I have, I think right now, over 13 or 1400 listings, and every single one of them has a make offer tab attached to it. So you can come in and either buy it now, it's full price, or you can make me, you know, a fair offer. But again, when you do that, you're going to have to deal with people that send you lowball offers. And there's a number of different reasons why they do that. And I wanted to talk about maybe my opinion on that and, you know, what I think. Recently, I had a lowball offer. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, I got a lowball offer, and I was selling a $32 card, and a guy came in and offered me $3. And I have to admit, you know, at the time, it made me upset, because when you hear that cha-ching and you're thinking it could be a sale or it could be an offer, and you get all excited, and then you look at it and you're like, a $3 offer on a $32 card, are you kidding me? And I have to admit, I wasn't happy about it. I decided at the time when I got offended, I ended up blocking him and then declining the offer. Because I said, you know, I don't want to mess with people like this. If he can't make me a fair offer, then obviously this card doesn't mean anything to him. And, you know, I had all these opinions. But then, you know, somebody commented on one of my later videos. One of my subscribers commented and said, you know what? You might want to rethink that. You might want to give the person a chance. You know, maybe they're just trying to feel you out a little bit and just to see how you react. So, you know, you want to give them at least one chance to react back to see, you know, if there can be a negotiation where you could make a sale. And that made a lot of sense to me. So I took that advice. So today, in fact, I got another lowball offer, and it was for a $31 card. It was a beautiful card. I think it was dated out of 1906, postmarked, written on, everything was, you know, very beautiful card. And the guy made me an offer for $6. So I just said, okay, I'm not going to block this guy. I'm not going to get insulted. What I'm going to do is counteroffer. So it was for $31.25 I was asking, with free shipping. Oh, I'm sorry, not free shipping. I need to correct that. On anything over $20 now, since I've changed my pricing structure, I charge for shipping. I charge the full $4.75 USPS retail. Now I do get it for a slight discount because I print my own labels through eBay, but still, you know, it's going to be about $3.50 somewhere there. So I make about $1 on the shipping because I print my own labels, and eBay does give me that discount. And that's, you know, standard policy through eBay. So, you know, it was a $31.25 card, and I made him an offer for $30.25. I came down $1, okay, just to see his reaction. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to accept that. I just kind of figured if he offered me $6, he's not going to just automatically accept $30. But I wanted to see his reaction. I wanted to see even if he reacted. And I waited about an hour. I was doing other things, you know, listing some more cards. And he finally did respond about an hour later, and he declined it. Okay. Well, that told me right there, okay, he's not willing to negotiate very much. You know, I was willing to negotiate. I thought maybe he would ask me, you know, what's the lowest you're willing to take on this? And I would probably tell him on this particular card, I'm willing to come down to this much and no lower. This is the best I can do. Now, I know on previous videos I've said that you probably don't want to reveal that, but it depends on the card. It depends on the content on the card face. If it's something really interesting, like old-time fire trucks or ships or something that's really interesting, people walking, in 1906 or whatever, when the photograph was taken, I probably wouldn't negotiate very much, But if the content wasn't as good, as average, I might want to come down a little bit further. It all depends on, the subject matter of the card face. And for this particular card, which was dated, I think, in 1906, I wasn't willing to budge very much. I'm going to be honest with you, because I'd done my research and I'd checked out the prices and the comps and what things had sold for in the past. And I determined that what I wanted for it, what was profitable for me. And like I said, I was willing to negotiate, but this other guy, when I sent him that counter offer, he wasn't even willing to, come up even another dollar. He just declined the offer, which is his right to do. He didn't want to pay more than $6. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. He can just go buy it off someone else. I'm sure there's, plenty of other people on eBay that have a similar card or maybe the exact same card, so, you have to learn to live with that. But the thing is, you just gotta have to determine in your heart and in your mind what you want for your cards. Do your research and check out the value and, determine what you want for your cards. Because, see, my feeling is this isn't a hobby for me. Okay, this isn't something that, I'm just willing to take a couple of dollars profit on. And I'm not saying that taking a couple of dollars profit is wrong. I mean, you can make up anything in volume, if you sell enough. But the thing is, I've been advised by people that probably sell upwards of $5,000 a month on postcards that you have to determine the value of these cards and you have to price your cards a little higher. And, you got to be willing to wait sometimes for the right buyer to come along. And if you think for 1 second that, people don't pay those kind of prices for cards, that's not true. Okay, I have sold cards. A couple of weeks ago, I sold a card at full asking price for $37.25. Okay, and I charged $4.75 shipping, and they paid $1.50 sales tax, and they were very happy with it. I sold another card a couple of months ago, around I forget which month it was, but the card sold for I think it was $49.25, almost $50. And I charged for shipping, and they paid sales tax, and they were very happy. They gave me positive feedback 2 days later, and they said they just couldn't be happier. They were just so happy they got the card because I guess they were a collector. It was a gentleman out of New York, and maybe he didn't have this card in his collection, and he was very happy to get it. So there are people that are willing to pay those kind of prices, even more. You see it all the time on eBay. People paying hundreds, even thousands of dollars for cards because, as Don the Auction Professor says, it's about perceived value, not actual value. Actual value to me is just someone that comes along and says, well, it's a piece of cardboard. This doesn't mean much. It's a piece of cardboard. Why would I pay that much for a piece of cardboard? But that's a person that just doesn't see a whole lot of stock in something like that, Whereas if you get a collector that's, maybe starting a collection of certain towns or cities or events or types of things like fire engines or airplanes or ships or whatever, and it's out of a certain time period, certain era, then that means something to them. I read a story once, and I saw a video on it, where a guy paid over $100 for a postcard. And you say, why would you pay $100 for a postcard? Well, the reason was because this was a postcard of a gentleman's house that had caught fire. And this was their dream home, I guess, and it had burnt to the ground, and they had nothing left. And somebody had taken the picture and put it on a postcard and was selling it on eBay for over $100, and he paid it. He gladly paid it because it meant something to him. That was his house. So it's all in perceived value. I'm a professional photographer by trade, okay? And I remember when I used to shoot weddings, decades ago, I would entertain clients, and I was always advised when I was young in the business that if you get a new client And the first question they ask you is, what do you charge? That's a client you probably don't want to do business with, because they don't assess your skill levels. They don't care how much you've spent on equipment, tens of thousands of dollars on equipment, how many years you had to spend in school learning the craft. They don't care about any of that. They don't even care about the quality of the pictures. All they care about is getting it for the cheapest price they can possibly get it for. It means nothing to them other than the bottom line. And I actually had a client like that. I delivered the pictures. I met them in a parking lot. I had the album they ordered, and I gave it to them, and they looked at me and they said, "Okay, thanks." I'm like, "Aren't you even going to look at the pictures?" And they're like, "No, we don't care. Thank you." And they just got in their car and left. It's like, I don't know, maybe they were in a big hurry, but it just seemed like they didn't care. It's like, well, we got our pictures taken. You fulfilled your part of the bargain. We're fine. But that to me suggests that they really didn't care what the pictures looked like, because they didn't even want to take a look at it. You think a bride would want to look at the pictures at least once, but maybe they were busy. Maybe they just, I don't know, maybe they were just in a time crunch and they just couldn't. I don't know, but it just seemed weird, But anyway, it's all about perceived value, and especially when it comes to collectibles and postcards and things like that. So, you have to make a determination in your heart and in your mind what you're willing to take for a card, what you're not willing to take. And I came across a weird thought too, and I wanted to share this. Now, this is total speculation, okay? And I normally don't go there. I like to deal in facts. But the thing is, I just can't help but think this for some reason. With all the eBay changes that have been going on with fourth quarter and how it's been affecting sales for sellers, what if buyers have kind of caught wind of this and said, you know what? There's a lot of eBay sellers that are complaining about low sales and they're not making sales. To me, they might think that's an opportunity for me to send somebody a bunch of lowball offers, and they'll just take it. They'll just accept it because, like the guy that sent me this $6 offer this morning, okay? Maybe he thought, well, I've seen him talk about low sales and things like that, so maybe he's not doing so well sales-wise. He's suffering sales-wise, and maybe, he'll just take this offer. $31 card. I'll offer him, some ridiculous $6, but because $6 is better than no dollars, right? Right? I mean, you're making money, right? But see, I don't play that game. I don't go there, because I look at this as a business, not a hobby. Now, if you looked at this as a hobby, maybe that wouldn't make a difference to you. Maybe you would be willing to take $5 or $6, because in your head, you're thinking, wow, $6 for a card that cost 10 cents. When I bought it, that's quite a profit. But when you figure in all the expenses and the cost of doing goods and your time and the gas to get to the post office and your envelopes and your postage and all that stuff and your eBay fees, then you end up with maybe $1 or $2 profit, maybe $3. But see, if you're in a position where you're just doing this for fun and you're just doing it to kind of make a few dollars here or there, make some extra fun money, maybe it doesn't make any difference to you. But when you're doing it as a business, when you're serious about it as a business, like I am, I do this full time. This is all I do. Well, I do photography, but, that market is kind of taking a major hit. That's why I'm doing eBay. But the thing is, if you don't care about that stuff, maybe you're willing to take a lower offer of a $6 on a $30 card. But when you've got bills to pay that come due every month, you say, no, that's just not going to cut it for me. And you got to make a determination in your heart and in your mind how much you're willing to take and how much you're not willing to take. And I've got certain figures in my head that, if they come back and they say, well, what's the lowest you're willing to take? In past videos, I've talked about not revealing that number, because you don't want to set a precedent of them always expecting that in future purchases. But the thing is, I figured out a way I could actually say that. I could actually tell somebody what my bottom line is, because it has to do, again, with the perception of what's on the card. Oh, here's an old card. Look at this. It's a really old card. Okay, it's unposted, but here's a really old card. Now, this might have a great value, okay? And you may not be willing to negotiate very much, but you want to charge a higher price for it because this will command a higher price. And if you're willing to wait for the right buyer to come along, then you'll get that price. Because like I said, cards do sell at higher prices. It's all a question of whether you're willing to wait for it. You know, I look at this business as a marathon, as a journey, not as a 50-yard sprint. I'm not out for the turn and burn quick money. Some people are. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it until I reach my personal goals. I've got personal goals that I want to see, you know, that affect my wife, Kim. You know, that's why she got into the postcard industry, into the postcard business. So we've got specific goals that we're after. So, you know, we're willing to wait. I mean, even Don the Auction Professor has got cards on his site that he said have been sitting around for 4 or 5 years. It doesn't matter to him. When it sells, it sells. You know, he's got practically nothing into it. So I said all that to say basically just, you know, you run your business the way you want to run your business. And when you have to deal with lowball offers, it happens. It gets, I got to be honest with you, it's a little discouraging when you are trying to sell a card for 30 or 35 or $40 or whatever, and you get a lowball offer like $3 or $6. You're like, huh. And, you know, if you send them a counter offer and then they decline it, then you're done. Okay. But if they keep coming back, you know, time and time again with a bunch of lowball offers, then maybe that's somebody you don't want to do business with, because they, you know, that they really don't care so much about the quality, or maybe they're just trying to get the card at a very low price so they can turn around and flip it for a higher price on another account. You know, somebody might be doing that. You know, to me, you know, somebody made a comment about, well, you know, that's just sourcing. Well, when I do sourcing, I usually buy in bulk, you know, 'cause that way you can get the price points really low. I usually don't pay over $1 for a card. I mean, it used to be like 25 to 50 cents. Since I made the decision to change my price points a little bit, you know, I'm going for higher quality cards. Those cards cost a little more. So I'm willing to go maybe $1. I probably won't go over $1. But that's still a good profit margin when you're selling a card for $30. Even if I took an offer for 25, that would still be a good profit. Okay. It all depends on how much you actually pay for your inventory when you buy it. Because if you pay $6 or $8 or $10 for a card, then you really got to jack the price up to actually turn a profit on that. And then you might price yourself out of the market, and, you know, it'll just sit there. But the thing is, you got to make a determination. I mean, it's your business. You run it the exact way you want. Just like this gentleman decided he didn't want to pay more than $6 for a card. That's perfectly fine. I'm sure he can find it off someone else on eBay. You know, I'm not willing to, you know, negotiate that low. And I have a figure in my head as far as how much I'm willing to go on each card. I take a look at the content, and then I make a determination on how low I'm willing to go. And when I contact that person in just a follow-up to what I said before, I will normally say something like, you know, for this particular card, this is the best I can do, or this is as low as I'm willing to go. I said, if that works for you, and I always throw this in at the end, I say, if that works for you, then we can do a deal. If not, well, thank you for your interest and have a great day. And I leave it there. I keep it very professional, very upbeat. Okay. So that's kind of what happened. Like I said, I do get a little disappointed when I see a lowball offer like that, but it's kind of a challenge in a way, because then I say, okay, let me negotiate maybe a higher price and let's see what they do. And they're either going to decline the offer, or maybe they won't answer at all, and they'll just let, you know, the offer run out. I think eBay allows you up to like 24 hours to make a decision. You know, you have to make a determination on what you want for your cards and the value you see in them. And when the right person comes along, if you're willing to wait, you know, you'll probably get close or maybe exactly what you're asking for. But I just thought I would share those thoughts with you. I'd kind of like to know your thoughts on the subject. Feel free to leave, you know, your experiences in the comments about how you deal with lowball offers. You know, if you want to reveal what strategies you have, you know, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, feel free to share that in the comments, and that way everybody can benefit. Okay. Listen, I got to go, but if you got anything out of this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button. It really helps the channel. I really appreciate it. And I got to go. I got work to do, but you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, and bye for now.